Hello, this is Peter with another video. Today I thought I'd just have a quick look around the patio and maybe a few other areas around the garden just to see how all the plants are doing now we're in autumn. So yeah, as you can see, we've got some plants starting to go dormant, some just still fully leaved, and I'm going to have to do a lot of reorganising soon for winter protection. So yeah, you can see we've got a mixture of some plants going dormant like this pomegranate here, and most of the pawpaws and fig trees around here starting to lose the leaves. Yeah, the ones in containers, these pawpaws do seem to drop the leaves earlier than the ones in ground, although they are starting to change colour now. Now interestingly, this persimmon tree here is still very green and looks like it's going to stay green for a bit longer, but I've got two more at the bottom of the garden which have completely defoliated. So I don't know if that's just because of where this one's located, or maybe it's variety dependent, but yeah, some do seem to go dormant a bit earlier. Still got all the citrus out at the moment. We'll be giving some of these winter protection later in the autumn, but for now we've got a mild spell, so I don't need to worry about protecting them just yet. We did have a cold spell the other week. It dropped down to very low single digits, but thankfully everything I had outside seems to be unaffected. There's no damage on any of the bananas, for example, which if you've had any frost, these leaves would not be still green like this. They'd be completely dead. So I can tell there's not been any significant cold damage around here, at least in the back garden. Got new growth starting to appear on some of the loquats. But yeah, these have been slowing down now, so they're not going to be growing as much. But they do continue to grow a little bit, very slowly, in autumn. We've got this one here, the Roseanne variety, still pushing out lots of new growth. Also the seedling one. But yeah, you can see most things are now starting to defoliate. So this is my green gage, which is completely defoliated. Victoria plum, or Little Vic, almost completely defoliated now. Got this fig tree here, which is still very green and has this absolutely massive leaf. Never seen a fig leaf that big before on one of my plants, but yeah, that seems to be still growing. I just noticed my coleus plants do seem to have been affected by some cold temperatures here, or maybe it's root rot. It could be root rot actually. Some of them are still looking fine, but these were looking absolutely perfect just a week or so ago. So it could be the excess rain, or it could just be cold temperatures that's affected them. They are quite tender. Once I thought they would have suffered any cold damage, these colocasias and banana leaves are still fine. Musabaju is still growing. Still very tatty looking, but there is new growth coming out of it, new leaves. All the colocasias here still looking very good. Even this grapevine has still got some leaves on it, but it's starting to go dormant. Yeah, I've not moved any of the bananas yet, the ones I've got in ground. Surprisingly, this one here still looks nice and healthy. Still trying to push out a new banana leaf there. It is quite protected in this corner here. It's actually quite warm today. Well, I mean for October anyway. 15-16 degrees, and with the sun out it actually feels quite nice. But yeah, not going to last much longer I don't think. Just a few more days, maybe a week or two, and then it's going to be, I imagine it'll probably start going quite cold again. Yeah, the citrus here looking quite good. The in-ground Oro Grande clementine. I'll do an update on the avocado in a separate video. I've got the Rajapuri banana which I left in the ground. I think I mentioned I was going to take it out a bit about 2 or 3 weeks ago, but I never did. I decided just to leave it a little bit longer. Yeah, I probably will have to get this in soon, and I'll probably bare root it and then put it under the grow light to see if I can get it to recover a little bit. This is a plant I've not featured for a while. This is one of my palms. It's the Butiagris. The Butiagris iriospafer or iriosparfa. I think it's iriospafer, usually pronounced that way. It's not done too bad this year. Still pushing out new fronds. It's quite a slow growing one at the moment, but it is in a pot which probably needs repotting actually. I'm not going to plant it in the ground until maybe next year. I'll do it. This winter I'll keep it in the container and I'll just move it indoors on the very coldest nights. Well, theoretically it should be cold tolerant. Certainly not going to risk it outside in a pot for the first winter anyway. But yeah, it's not done too bad. This frond here is starting to die on it, but it is one of the older ones, so that's to be expected. Now down here is the slightly more neglected area of the garden. Got one of my Canary Island date palms, which is in not the best looking condition right now. It's probably due a repot as well. Some of these old fronds removing. Here's my other one. Had these a few years now. They've been growing quite slowly in pots. They will grow much faster if they're in the ground, but then of course you've got to keep them protected in winter. These I just move onto the patio. Don't do anything fancy with them, just move them next to the house and then move them inside on any nights where we get really cold temperatures below -3, -4. They're fine with -1, -2, probably even -3 or 4, but I don't want to risk it really. I don't have to, so I'll just bring them in for a couple of nights if it drops quite low. All the peaches are losing the leaves now, and the nectarine as well. I'm leaving them outside. I know they do get leaf curl if you leave them outside, but I just don't have space to keep them in the greenhouse or in the shed or anything over winter, so they'll just have to put up with the leaf curl issues in the spring. I'll move them back into the greenhouse once I get all the citrus out, and then it should clear any effects of the leaf curl. This is one of my persimmons. This was a bare root one. I think it's the one I got from Gardening Express. It's done quite well. Not grown too fast, but it is still fully leafed out, as you can see. I'm sure that'll be going dormant in the next few weeks. Now back here are my 2 persimmons that I imported from Italy. Well, they came via a UK nursery. I've got the Rojo Brillante and the vanilla variety. Can't remember which one's which. This one's the vanilla, and this one here must be the Rojo Brillante. Yeah. So yeah, they've dropped all the leaves now, completely dormant. I'm guessing because they've just been imported from Italy, they're not used to our climate yet, so probably just started going dormant a bit earlier. I have also got them at the bottom of the garden in a more shady position. I put them here because they kept blowing over when we had the strong winds. So when I put them against this wall here, it stopped them from getting blown over with the wind. I'll probably either get these repotted over winter or planted in the ground somewhere. Just got to find a suitable spot for them. And then over here we've got loads and loads of rootstock varieties which I haven't had the chance to graft onto this year. Most of these are apple rootstocks, pear rootstocks. I things like that, which I was going to graft Asian pears onto and different apple varieties. Just never got round to it. But I can always have a go next year. At least I know the rootstocks have started to grow anyway. But more generally, I need to get this area sorted anyway. It's just full of pots, as you can see at the moment, but I do want to put a border in round here so I can plant things around this area of the garden. There is this old bush, I'm not quite sure what it was. It died after we cut all the top of it off. It just needs digging out, which is going to be fun. There's also a bunch of weeds growing here and a sapling which I've cut down multiple times, and it keeps coming back from the roots. But this area does actually get shade most of the time. It doesn't really get any direct sun, so I can't plant anything tender around here, to be honest. So it's probably mostly going to be more native things, or just some climbers I can have going up all over the fence here. So yeah, I thought I'd just have a quick look around the garden, see what's going on with some of the plants. Now we're in autumn. I'll do more individual updates on some of the plants if there's anything of interest. But yeah, I just thought I'd do a quick look around some of the garden just to see while we're in autumn, and a little bit of an insight into my plans for how I'm going to be overwintering some of these plants. As I said, I'm not going to worry just yet about moving citrus and things like that, but I do need to give this whole area a good tidy up, as I mentioned earlier. I need to move all the deciduous plants out of here because they don't need any protection. So all the figs, persimmons, probably even the pawpaws, because I've got more plants this year. So I need to move all these into other areas of the garden, and then I can keep the more tender plants like the bottlebrush plants, and things like Chilean guavas, etc. Keep them on the patio and just move in if we get really cold temperatures. I'll also be keeping most of the avocados out, or the seedlings, except for when frost is predicted. So yeah, just thought I'd do a little update here on some of the plants in the garden. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be alerted when I've got future videos coming out. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.